Sir, shall we start, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Give me 2 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
A few minutes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other participants, please turn off your video. Let the speaker alone have the video on. Check whether you have muted yourself and turn off your video.
Ma'am, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So, a small introduction about you, sir, to the participants.
Okay. Okay.
Um, Good afternoon, everyone. For our session today, we have Dr. P. Ragupathy, who is working as a senior scientist in the Secretary Karaikudi. Sir has finished his PhD from the reputed Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, and he has earned his postdoctoral fellowship from Texas Material Institute, the University of Texas. He has also he has always also been a research fellow at Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. He has numerous publications published in peer-reviewed journals, and he's a recipient of various awards, a few of which to mention: Cellule Mixed the Research Fellowship, Embassy of France, and for a Hart Silver Jubilee Medal for outstanding performance in allied mathematics, and many more. His current research focuses on material science, lithium-ion batteries, redox flow batteries, and supercapacitors. It is an honor to have you, sir. So you can carry on with your presentation. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am, for your kind introduction. And it's my great pleasure to be part of this workshop. And I'm very glad to talk to you for this faculty training program. Of course, due to this pandemic situation, we are not able to meet in person. Otherwise, it would have been like, the direct interaction. So visit. Of course, already I have visited Bharathiar University, so it's not new place for me. So it's very familiar. And so what I'm planning to do for rest of 40 minutes, like, the giving overview of electrochemical energy storage and conversion system. I will restrict myself to only battery because I am aware that other faculty members, they are talking about supercapacitor and other related topics. Okay, so with that, let me begin my talk. And of course, my special thanks to the organizers for having me this meeting. So especially Dr. Ponpandian sir, who have been the instrumental for this. So thank you, sir, for your invitation and the opportunity. So what I have actually planning to do is about electrochemical energy storage and conversion system, as I mentioned. So can you see my slides? Can
Yes,
anyone?
sir, we can see your slide.
So
Yes,
okay,
yes.
okay, yes. Okay, fine. So, as I have given my title, Electrochemical Energy Storage Systems, and overview, challenges and opportunities. There are a lot of challenges in this field. So, let's try to understand, is there any opportunity to address all these challenges? So, that is the idea. I'll try to convince you there are a lot of opportunities in this field. So, the picture what you see here is lithium-ion battery, supercapacitor, and the redox flow batteries. So, we will be talking only on batteries, the lithium-ion batteries, and some extent redox flow batteries. Supercapacitor, I think there are other sessions. So CSAR SICRI, I don't have to introduce that, only saying that we are located in the southern part of our country here. In Tamil Nadu, we have three national laboratory, and where in CSAR Central Electrochemical Research Institute, we do a lot of R&Ds on electrochemical science and technology, especially on electroplating, sensor, and nanocatalyst. More importantly, we are focusing on electrochemical energy storage technology. So that's what we are going to talk about the topic today. Okay, so let me begin my talk by telling you that top 10 problems that our human beings, what we are facing. You look at this, actually starting from water, food, environment, poverty, terrorism. Recently now we are struggling with this, COVID-19 disease, uh, education, democracy, and of course the pollution. If you look at all these top 10 problems, the energy is placed the number one. The reason behind that is if you can address these energy issues in a proper manner, it will be taking care of all other problems. So that's what the energy plays a role. So look at this actually, the CO2 content in the atmosphere keeps on increasing. If you look at the CO2 increase, last 100 years back, 1870 to, 1930, the increment in the CO2 content is, marginal. The moment after 1942, even 2010 and 20, you see there is a deep increase in the CO2 content. A couple of days back, I have checked the CO2 content. It's around 411.01 ppm. So that is almost 3.5 ppm of the highest compared to last year. So what happens as a consequence of this CO2 content in the atmosphere? It causes a lot of other issues like global warming and many more other environmental issues. So what you see here, these pictures, captured during, March or February at Delhi, you could see a lot of air pollutions. Even getting pure air itself challenges for us. So these all things causes due to the huge accumulation of CO2 content in the atmosphere. And then another thing, look at this. Probably you might have heard a few months back, there was a fire in the Amazon forest. That is also there, and these are the heartbreaking pictures with that Amazon forest fire accident. So this actually, though we are well civilized status now, there are villages in our country even without electricity. Look at this is a district from to Dindukal. See, they not even having electricity. And see there still we are using the lantern powered by a battery or something like. So the point that I'm trying to tell you is here, though we have a lot of advancement in the science and technology, still there are places unelectrified in the country. So that gives it's not too much botheration to as a citizen of this country. In addition to that, you also notice that there are a lot of air pollution. So you might have seen the countries in India. There are cities having a lot more electric the vehicles. So we are going to talk about the electric vehicles. Before that, since we are using a fossil fuels, as you can see here, there are a lot of air pollutions. So these are the Kolkata and Bangalore kind of cities. So eventually these things would damage and pollute the air. That's what we are breathing. So we need to find out the alternative arrangement for these kind of situations. So that's what we are going to discuss in the rest of the talk. Okay, so let me share with you the energy, outlook globally. If you look at the amount of energy that we are consuming right now is around 20 terawatt, can I say? So for your information, I'm giving you 1 terawatt is equal to 10 power 12 watt. So that means you imagine actually after 30 to 40 years, the amount of energy would be doubled or even tripled. We may not know that. So this energy is really impacting the human life in terms of economy, environment, health, and of course national security. So the projection says that after 30 years from now, the amount of energy would be doubled or tripled, as you can see here. The question is whether we will be having the same fossil fuel cells, so what we are consuming now. It's not. The amount of resources probably would not meet our energy demand, what is that we are going to face in future. So look at this. Actually, there is a Nobel laureate. Actually, Alan, he has mentioned that in 200 years from now, we will be having trillions and trillions of money, but there won't be enough natural energy resources. So that's where we need to find out the alternative resources. So look at the global energy consumption of the fuels. So up to here, 2000, the fossil fuel cells have been really taken the domination. So the same thing would be expected in the near future also. So whatever alternative we are trying to address, still the fossil fuels like natural gas, coal, oil are taking the predominant stage. But the question remains again same. Do we have enough resources, natural gas, oil, coal? Certainly it is not. So we need to find out alternative energy sources. So what are the other, energy sources? So geothermal, solar, wind, biomass, and hydroelectric. So these are, the alternative energy technology what we have been talking, starting from solar, wind, nuclear, hydro, geothermal. But if you look at the last three components, fuel cell, capacitor, and batteries, these three components are collectively called electrochemical energy storage and conversion devices. So we must be careful in understanding this. The energy storage is capacitor and battery, while fuel cell is energy conversion devices. Okay. So based on the common principle of ion and the electronic transfer, this is called electrochemical, simply energy storage and conversion devices. So these devices are broadly classified into three categories: batteries, fuel cells, and capacitors. We know that batteries again further classified: primary battery, secondary battery, and so on. So the combination of these batteries, fuel cell, now the recent trends on redox flow batteries. So the supercapacitor or ultra capacitor, hybrid capacitor kind of storage device, which are further classified into pseudo capacitor and double layer capacitors. So what are the challenges that we are going to face? So with these kind of energy storage and conversion devices, the challenges remain limited energy and power density, of course, cost, safety, and most importantly, the lifetime of those devices. So these are the challenges that we are going to face, and we are